What is one of the most deserved and satisfying character deaths of all time? Ramsay Bolton. The Six-Fingered Man. I want my father back, you son of a bitch. Benny from The Mummy 1999. Todd from Breaking Bad. Bellatrix Lestrange in Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows. Most satisfying part of her death wasn't that she was a Death Eater, nor that it served justice for her torture of sweet Neville Longbottom's parents, and murder of Sirius Black and Nymphadora Tonks. It wasn't even because she killed Dobby, although, if there was ever a good reason. But no, the most satisfying element of Bellatrix Lestrange's death in the Second Wizarding War is that it was at the hands of Molly Weasley, who finally got the opportunity to show everyone what a badass witch she had been all along. Warden Norton in Shawshank Redemption. That slimeball Burke from Aliens. Joffrey Baratheon. God, I hated that kid, but kudos to the actor. He was fantastic. Ramsay Bolton also deserves a shout-out. So does every major villain in GOT. That show really made me hate a lot of characters. Bev from Midnight Mass. C7N, Wrath. A lot of gut deaths here, but I'd like to add Murrentrant. God, what a complete piece of shit pedo. Got what he fucking deserved. That crazy religious woman in the mist. 4 as the visual Hans Gruber in Die Hard. After getting shot, he tries to take McClane's ex-wife with him out the window. Dangling there, gun in hand, all he has to do is shoot McClane and drag his ex out the window in a last act of killing the people that ruined his plan, and ultimately caused his death. Then just before he pulls the trigger, pop goes the watch. You can see the look of determination drain from his face, turning into fear and despair as gravity takes full hold, knowing that he failed his last defiant moment. Grand Moff Tarkin. Dude wanted nothing but the downfall of others in the Star Wars universe. Joffrey Game of Thrones. There has never been, and likely never will be, a death quote that's satisfying for so many reasons. Spoilers for A Stormlight Archive by Brandon Sanderson. The death of Sadeas was overdue. The advantage of having him as an ally was not worth the trouble he caused in the long run, in my opinion. But then again, I do have the perspective of looking through the eyes of my favorite characters instead, so I may be biased. Still, it was extremely satisfying when Adolin killed him. The death of Amaram was also well deserved. He betrayed Kaladin, who was arguably the most loyal soldier he had, all for a shardblade Kaladin was going to give him anyway. I'm gonna take a positive opposite take on this. Yondu in Guardians of the Galaxy when sacrificing himself to save Peter. He wanted to die an honorable death, and did it to save his adopted son in such an emotionally heroic way, and save his son. He loved his character development, and seeing the celebration of him when all the Ravagers came out for his funeral was truly beautiful. I'm going to take it in the opposite direction for most of these responses, and bring us to a positive death. In the series finale of 6 Feet Under, we see the deaths of all of the central characters, and most, but not all, which I appreciate. 2 of them felt very fitting and reflected the lives the characters had lived. The central character for the entire series, Claire, dies peacefully in her bed at an advanced age, after having lived a long and beautiful life. After watching her struggle with depression and an inability to form healthy relationships with others, it's so moving and rewarding. It still makes me cry every single time. Agent June Saul, Sons of Anarchy. Kurt Sutter said he was blown away when the test audience stood up and cheered. Starscream. Galvatron Megatron turned him into a pile of dust.